Y'all, in verse 12 through 14, it helps us to see that there are two things Paul mentions here that we must do if we are to continually moving ahead in our Christian life and moving ahead in the life of the church. Are you with me? First, he says, we got to keep our mind off the past. Hear me now, huh? And Jesus said in Luke 9:62, nobody puts their hands to the plow and looks back is fit for the service in the kingdom of God. Those of you who are runners know that the runner in a race can't afford to look back. Because when you look back, you lose your speed. When you look back, you lose your direction. If you're not careful, looking back will cause you to lose the race. It is the result of a decision that we must make as individuals and we must make as a church, y'all. Huh? Listen, we simply must decide that we will not be controlled by our past. In the athletic world, the name of the game is concentration. Do I have a witness? If an athlete can't concentrate, if he can't teach himself to focus, he won't be able to compete. Do I have a witness? Athletes talk of being in a zone where their concentration is so intense that it blocks out the rest of the world. Do I have a witness? They don't hear the noise of the crowd. They don't feel the pain of the injury. They're totally, y'all, focused on the goal. And they're focused on winning the prize. Huh? We, like Paul, must place ourselves in a zone like an athlete. We must block out the noise, block out the activities of the crowd, and keep ourselves focused, concentrated on the prize. We might need to get like Donny Hathaway. You remember some of y'all old school folk? Any old school? Then I ought to get a, you too young, girl. Donny Hathaway said, giving up. I knew I had at least a couple old school. Huh? It's hard to do because you're focused. Huh? You're in a zone. Huh? We got to keep our mind focused on the prize that is before us, y'all. And notice, if you will, the prize isn't defined here. Most likely he's talking about the day he can be in total communion with Christ, where there is no distraction, where there is no sin, where there is no temptation, a place and a day, y'all, where there's just pure fellowship with Jesus Christ. All I'm trying to say here is we got to keep moving ahead toward the goal. If we are to see growth in our lives, and if we are to see it in the life of our church, it's going to take a decision that no matter what, we will not be defeated. no matter what, we will be victorious.